Hey everybody, and welcome to Plastic Nostalgic, where all toys are nostalgic. Eventually. Now today we're going for a real blast of the past with this G.I. Joe, a real American hero, Duke, from the Battle Corps. This particular one came out in 1992, so it's got some age on it. And he's been waiting in this package for a long time to get out of it. So let's help him out and get him out of this package and check it out. Today we have the G.I. Joe, a real American hero, Battle Corps action figure of the Battle Commander Duke. Here he is tossing a grenade on the card back. And he has a missile cannon, which actually shoots, and we'll see if it shoots after all these years in the package. Still has the remnants of a KB price tag from back in 1992. And here is the back of the G.I. Joe packaging, which is always one of my favorite packages. This and Star Wars, because it always had that visual checklist of all the different heroes and villains. And there's Duke right there in the top corner. Frostbite, Keelhaul, Backblast. A lot of different versions of the ones I played with as a kid. This came out a little while after I stopped collecting G.I. Joe for a while. And here's some special forces with the Mega Marines, the Armor Tech Star Brigade, and the Battle Corps. There's that G.I. Joe flag point. Had a pile of those when I was a kid too. And the best thing about these is the file card on the back. Code name Duke, Battle Commander. File name Hauser Conrad S. Serial number 234 0955GI89. Primary military specialty, Ranger. Secondary military specialty, Military Intelligence, G2. Birthplace, St. Louis, Missouri. Grade E8 Master Sergeant. A real G.I. Joe should be on the front lines with his men, which is where you'll find me. Duke is a natural leader, and nobody knows that better than his men. He passed up an officer's commission because he wanted to stay where the action was, on the front lines, not twiddling his thumbs back at some fancy officers' club. Instead of sitting around talking with a bunch of boring brass, he'd rather split some K rations with a platoon of grunts in a battlefield foxhole. He's a firm believer in discipline and the no pain, no gain work ethic. His men may complain from time to time about sore muscles, but when the bullets start to fly, you can bet every one of them thanks Duke for the rigorous training he put them through. Here's a little diagram of the picture on the front. Number 1 is his Fritz-style infantry helmet. Number 2 is his desert camouflage fatigues. Number 3 is his high-powered quick-fire missile cannon. Number 4 is a standard issue 9mm pistol. Number 5 is the XJT baseball grenade. Number 6 is the shatterproof anti-glare goggles. Number 7, easy access ammo pouch. And number 8, tactical terrain combat boots. And he also has a tactical watch with built-in compass and standard issue military knife. So let's get him out of this package and check it out. When I collected G.I. Joes back in the early 80s, they came with a lot of accessories for toys at the time, but this one comes with a wide selection of accessories. More than the old G.I. Joes. And always be careful when using a knife so you don't cut your finger off. And now we have Duke, after 30-something years, out of that package. He's a little stiff, but that's to be expected from a 30-plus-year-old toy. Here's all his weapons. The missile cannon. Menace in the Wilderness. Let's check that out in a minute. And that classic 90s card back with the laser lines behind him. Also, the instructions to remove all pieces from the plastic frames. If you have difficulty, use safety scissors. And the figure fits onto battle stand. Insert missile into barrel and lock into place. To fire, press trigger. That seems easy enough. So let's take off these missiles and see how they work. Let's take a look at Duke a little closer first. Here he is in his desert camo fatigues. Has that hole in the back that was for his screw to hold him together, and also to put backpacks on the other Joes. One thing I really liked about the Joes versus the Star Wars action figures back in the day is the much better articulation. And you could put them in battle poses, and not only did their arms bend, but after that first batch of Joes, the arms could swivel as well. And their heads could move up and down, side to side. Have that O-ring construction that gave him an awesome swivel waist and allowed his legs to move freely at the hips. The Battle Commander Duke. I'm guessing it just slides on his arm. Oh, I see. You have to be really careful with these guys because they're made of a little harder plastic than the toys nowadays. And even back in the day, there were certain figures that the thumbs popped off real easily. And also the heels, when you stick them on the stand, they fit so snugly that sometimes the heels cracked right off of the figure. So I'm going to forego putting any weapons in his hands and putting him on the battle stand just to make sure I keep him intact. But let's see how this missile works after all these years. Okay, clips right in there. Here's the trigger right on the back. Pretty space age looking gun. A lot of detail went into that. And it still works. After 31 years being in a package. And now I got to go find that one. So, in the meantime, here we have the Battle Commander Duke from the Battle Corps line of G.I. Joe, a real American hero. A great addition to my G.I. Joe collection. After finding the missile, I realized I needed to take a closer look at his weapons. And we've already looked at his missile launcher. And on this plastic frame we have another missile, the battle stand, which I'll admit, when I was a kid, I used these, especially when they come in them battle accessory packs. I would buy those up and arm my Joes because I was always losing the guns. We have a big laser blaster here, and this is a shotgun. We have a submachine gun here, and we also have a machete. So this Duke came well prepared for battle. And here we have the Menace in the Wilderness insert that came with Duke. And we open it up, and it shows that you can order some figures with the flag points. From the remote hideout in Montana wilderness, Cobra is disrupting telecommunications worldwide and sending their own evil messages around the earth. The G.I. Joe International team has to infiltrate Cobra's hideout and stop them cold. Order this 4-man force with weapons and battle stance today for global excitement. And then here we have some more vehicles and figures. Alerted to G.I. Joe's presence, Cobra sends the Cobra Wolf and Cobra Ninja Viper to stop the international team. But the G.I. Joe reinforcements arrive with Deep Six leading the way and Hawk blazing into battle with his sonic jetpack. With electronic lights and sounds. Each figure comes with a weapon and battle stand. Order today. And here we have the G.I. Joe hovercraft. On a nearby mountain lake, reinforcements arrive in the G.I. Joe hovercraft and prepare to join the attack. This awesome vehicle floats on water. Order it now. I totally wish I had the flag points to order these things, because I sure would now. There's the order form, which you could also get the G.I. Joe Collector's Kit and a personalized G.I. Joe dog tag. Those would have been nice to have. Thanks for joining us today on Plastic Nostalgic, where all toys are nostalgic. Eventually, even if it takes them 30 years. So I'm glad I was able to open up that old thing. And I can't wait to open up some more. So if you want to see some more nostalgic or soon to be nostalgic toys, be sure to like and subscribe. And leave a comment down below. And tell me who your favorite G.I. Joe figure is. See y'all next time.